Aside from being notoriously rich, the Kardashians are well known for being very bad employers. Ex-employees have exposed the Kar Jenner family, and what you're about to hear will surely blow your mind. From the outside, working for this multi-billionaire family looks like a dream, but their workers don't have an easy life.
Get your ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
That's so true.
You have to surround yourself with people that want to work.
From working non-stop to not getting paid for overtime, people who used to work for Kim and her fam are uncovering all the dirty secrets of the family and why they call them the bosses from hell. But how bad could it be? Well, here are a few times when an ex-employee spilled the tea on the Kardashian family. It's no secret that the Kardashians are pretty well known for being a little bit scandalous. That's the reason they became so famous and were able to build a literal empire. Not to mention that's also one of the reasons why they stay relevant, but sometimes things get out of hand. For instance, people who used to work for the family had been exposing them for alleged mistreatment, and let me tell you, you'll be shocked about the things they said about the seemingly innocent Kar Jenner sisters. Let's start with Kim K, who has claimed countless times that she is the reason behind her family's success. Well, aside from being in charge of making sure their empire is good and running, Kim is also very much in charge of getting involved in lawsuits and such. I mean, from her marriage to a leaked tape and her recent divorce from Kanye West, Kim is at most a walking controversy. Well, a famous walking controversy. However, on top of all this, Kim has been making a buzz for the alleged mistreatment of her staff.
Kim is getting called out by the internet after some of her former housekeeping and maintenance staff filed a lawsuit against her for unpaid wages in May of last year.
Yep, you heard that right. There had been numerous sources confirmed that Kim had been giving her workers a very hard time. She also doesn't cover their expenses and gives them little to no break despite working non-stop. But wait, there's more. There was an actual lawsuit filed by 7 staff members against her with $25,000 worth of damages before the Los Angeles County Superior Court. Specifically, the plaintiffs never received any pay stubs, were not paid on regular pay periods, were not given their required meal and rest breaks, were not provided a means to record all their hours, were not paid all their hours, were not reimbursed for employment expenses, were not paid all of their overtime wages, and were not paid their wages upon termination of employment. This was according to NBC News. Imagine being super rich, but also being pretty stingy when it comes to your employees. Kim can surely relate. Kim also withheld 10% of her workers' pay for taxes, but never really came around to reporting these to tax and employment authorities. If you think this is bad enough, then wait until you hear Kim's response. When asked what she had to say about the accusation, Kim basically said, "It's none of my business." Her lawyer explained that the workers were hired through an agency and Kim had nothing to do with them getting the job. While this might be true, I think it's still pretty irresponsible to turn a blind eye when people who work for you are literally struggling under your nose. She could at least make a few phone calls to settle the situation before it escalated into a lawsuit. Just imagine the things these employees had to endure. A lot of fans actually agree with this. It's too bad. Mistreatment of people is something I am against. The Kardashians are more than able to pay fair wages to their employees. You're not my hero when you treat the very people who admire you and who make you look good like trash, one fan wrote, while another said she should still make a point to address and resolve it though, since these people are literally breaking their backs for her. This will make you think if this is really an isolated case, or are the employees working for her brands such as KKW and Skims experiencing the same treatment? Well, sadly, it seems like this controversy didn't bother Kim K at all, because after the news broke on the internet, she was seen attending a party, hanging out with her ex-husband's nemesis, Drake. If you think this is the last time people expose Kim and her family as being the worst bosses ever, think again. Stephanie Shepard worked as an executive assistant for Kim K for a couple of years, and I guess she's the right person to talk about what it's like to work under someone like Kim. Let's take the infamous Kim-Ye wedding back in 2014. Shockingly, Stephanie confessed that she was not able to witness the ceremony at all because she was so busy behind the scenes. She did it all, from looking for Caitlyn Jenner's suit to making sure the Kar-Jenner sisters are as glamorous as they should be, to even creatively direct for a day. She even mentioned how she wasn't able to get any sleep at all. I was still relatively new back then. I remember just not sleeping that whole week, and then I came home and I got pulled over on Hollywood Boulevard, and I just started crying to the police officer, like, please, I'm just exhausted. I gotta go home. You don't understand. Truly, I went to bed at like 5 in the afternoon and woke up the next day at like 11 a.m. Stephanie explained that she also got a mental breakdown after working nonstop that day. On top of working from dusk till dawn for Kim, the executive assistant also revealed how she was not able to date anyone during the first 2 years of her working for Kim. In fact, in one episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Stephanie opened up to Kourtney and mentioned how unfulfilled she was as Kim's assistant and would really like to get the chance to evolve and move forward with her career.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like she's just looking to evolve. Does she still help you when you're packing for trips, or is that all makeup?
No, that's all my stylist. So that's not her thing anymore.
Yeah.
While a decent employer would address the issue and maybe take the time to assess her shortcomings as a boss, Kim was more concerned about the fact that her assistant is very close with one of her sisters and even said it was inappropriate for Stephanie to talk to Kourtney about things like that.
Yeah.
But I do think it's inappropriate for her to talk to you and not to me. I mean, don't you think that's just a little bit unprofessional?
I think we were talking about life in general. And then because we were talking about it, then she brought it up.
But that's a convo she should have with me.
Okay, Kimberly. She really knows her priorities. However, it seems like Kim is not the only bad boss in the family, because other members of the Kar-Jenner sisters are getting exposed for mistreating their employees. Kylie has been getting a lot of these accusations lately, especially after her makeup brand, Kylie Cosmetics, gained popularity and became one of the biggest brands today. In 2020, Kylie and Kendall launched their fashion line, Kylie and Kendall. Reports revealed how the sisters refused to pay thousands of their garment makers after COVID hit, saying that there was a decrease in sales. Well, your garment makers work every day despite the crisis, so I don't think that's a valid reason. Many fans were pretty disappointed about this, especially if we consider the amount of money she has. This is actually just the tip of the iceberg after a few employees who work for Kylie's brand revealed they had it worse. One of them even revealed how bad their situation was while working in the lab. When asked about it, an employee exposed her boss, saying Kylie only provides them with a lab coat, a hairnet, and safety glasses. This is very insufficient, especially since these workers have to deal with harsh chemicals whenever they whip up makeup products for the business mogul. The outrage doubled after Kylie posted a picture of herself on Snapchat, seemingly working in the lab. In the photo, she was sporting goggles, a hairnet, and a lab coat, only to take proof shots that she is also very much working in the same condition as her staff. However, you can totally see in the background how not every one of her staff was using goggles to protect their eyes from the chemicals. Well, unlike her, I'm pretty sure her staff doesn't have the time to take a break and pose for the camera. A lot of fans came to Kylie's rescue and said that while the makeup mogul is a little sus, the makeup palettes are pretty legit since the brand does not test them on animals. Okay, but Kylie used to test them on her employees, who would more often than not come back with severe headaches. Based on TMZ's reports, employees have to endure the palette's awful smell and texture. Because of this, fans took their grievances to the internet. One fan wrote, "She doesn't pay the people who make her money? Cruelty." While another said, "Wow, they can lavishly with the dress, mansion, and blah blah, but can't pay standard PPE? Surprise!" I guess there's always a price for something, and when it comes to working under one of the most famous and richest families in the entertainment world, let's just say it's not worth it. How about you? What do you think about the Kardashians' treatment of their workers? Let us know in the comments below. Also, give this a like and subscribe for more.